Alex, how do I look? I feel like I'm a bit too small for this chair. Yes? No?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You're too small for anything.
Yeah. Mm.
How's it like being in Big Brother house?
That was my joke. Okay. First of all, I made that joke, okay? There's this song that's been playing in my head all day. The Simpsons are horrible. So I guess we're live again. Are we? We are live, right?
No one watches because they forget about us.
Yeah, I know. That's a shame.
We've got Lawrence and Wayne here, so...
Yeah, Lawrence and Wayne care. Okay? So, at least some people care. But Ray, do you want to start off by telling everyone what you're smoking?
A cigar. Black. Long. It's a cigar, guys. Don't think about that stuff.
It's a cigar that he hates.
Theoretically, I never have a good one, so I decide it's another way
Is it a good
to
one now?
try it. It's tasty, but it's very strong.
No wonder your feet are moving around.
So yeah, Blanco 9 is a cigar, double Corona. I never smoked a double Corona. That's the only Lancero which I didn't like in my life when I smoked Lanceros. I smoked the Robusto, also didn't like them. But yeah, my last Blanco 9 is that double Corona, which is not bad, decent, very strong. I'm start worrying how I'm gonna drive after. But yeah,
Keep the camera on him for a second. I'm just gonna move something, yeah?
To pair that with McDonald's Fanta, which is sugar, so we'll be alright. Yeah, bring that to my face. I can't see nothing now.
Yeah. No, I couldn't see you properly before. That's why.
You don't need to see me.
I'm talking to you. I need to see you.
I'm the sun, you know. I'm everywhere.
You're
You know,
everywhere.
My name realistically means sun on the Asian language.
Son as in like son of someone, or son as in
Sun as
the ball of
the planet.
nuclear
You
explosions?
mean like Ra, the sun god? The ancient Egyptians.
On an Asian Bulgarian, it means sun. My name. So here we go. You've got a sun in the house.
We're all
You
Clearly.
start kneeing now. Knee.
What?
Knee in the Great Pharaoh. Anyway, that's different movie, guys.
Shut the fuck up!
Yeah, nobody watching us. I can say whatever I want.
Yeah, but you know that this is getting recorded as well, right?
First 10
People
minutes,
can
everyone
watch
skip the first.
afterwards, right?
We'll cut them. Cut. Start again.
I don't think
Let's just cut the live broadcast.
we... Yeah, just start
Is it
again.
not working like that?
Well, I'm smoking the La Gloria Cubana Britannica cigar.
Look at him, the poser.
How is this pole? Listen, show them what you've got. Why don't you open your bag and show them what you've got?
In the
Fucking,
bag?
I'm the poser.
I've got a tube.
No, show them what you've
I've
got.
got a tube.
Yeah, what's in the tube?
Cigar.
Which cigar?
Oliva V.
You dickhead. Which Oliva V? Be more specific.
Oliva V Diadema.
Not just any Diadema though, is it?
It's the only one which is called Diadema.
No, there's two. There's a new limited edition one that came out, which is not as long as that.
Is it the same Diadema name?
Diadema, the name is Diadema, but it's not the same Diadema. It's not fucking 9 inches long.
I think only Davidoff is called Diadema.
No, they made another one. They made a limited edition one recently, which is like 6 3/4 of an inch. And I thought, that's not Diadema. Diadema is supposed to be like much larger, you know? But yeah, I'm the poser, huh? How much is that cigar for? This is like £35. That's it. That's like,
Mine
you
is
can't
like
even buy that.
$9.
Shut up, man. You can't even buy that.
Yeah, because they're sold out.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
£9.
So it's not £9. You can't buy it. I'm the poser. So anyway, as I was saying, I'm smoking the La Gloria Cubana Britannicas. Got this in the...
Poser.
You're both dickheads. I hate you both.
What are you smoking?
I'm smoking a cigar.
More likely.
Anyway, I got this in the Cigars Cuban subscription, so quite happy about that. Yeah.
In a subscription.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Last month it was the Cohiba Robusto and Gigantes.
Are they out some limited stuff in the subscriptions?
Yeah.
Often?
Often, yeah. So, I mean, not every month, but often enough, you'll open it up and you've got like a limited edition cigar in there. So it's quite nice. But yeah, regional edition. And this is quite a nice regional edition. I don't think they're going to put the La Reina in there anytime soon, though. Because
the Arena is more than the box itself, the subscription box. Maybe if they put only one cigar.
Yeah, just one cigar. What is it, La Reina? That's it. It's like £56 for one, man. Wow. I mean, regional edition cigars don't generally appreciate in value massively, but for some reason, British regional editions tend to. Any reason why?
It's British. You're in Britain.
Yeah, but
That's why. The British editions are not expensive in the other countries because you can't find them there.
exactly. No, they are expensive there because they have to buy them from here.
Yeah.
So they cost even more when they go elsewhere because they have to buy them at EMS prices, and then they have to, or whoever the retailer is, but they'd rather go to EMS, wouldn't they? And probably one of the reasons why regional editions in the UK, not a bad investment. Not a bad investment. But anyway, before we jump into that, let's do the introduction and the video and everything. You know, Alex has lit his cigar. I need to light my cigar. Alex, what are you smoking, by the way?
The Intemperance.
No one cares. Anyway, I'm sorry, Alex, go on. I'm sorry.
There you go. Unfortunately, I can't just mute you. The Intemperance Whiskey Selection. Whiskey Rebellion, sorry.
The hell is that?
Roma Craft, and that cigar is one of the best Roma Crafts out there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really
10
over
nice.
10, I would choose that cigar in front of yours.
I haven't tried that, so
I
don't
haven't
know.
tried that as well
So how do you know?
because that's an amazing cigar. I don't think that's what you have.
No,
in
this
there.
is
It's
a
an
really
amazing
good cigar as well. This is a really good cigar. Anyway, the last one that I smoked anyway, that was amazing. The last couple that I smoked. This one, you know, I could have started it wrong. I don't know. I might have dropped it a few times. Like that Monte Cristo that you were showing me.
Yeah, guys.
Did you see
in
the Monte Cristo that Ray had?
No, you haven't.
Oh.
I'll post the post in the Facebook group. We have a new Facebook. I'll post the post in the group. I'll show you what experiment I did today. And yeah, hopefully it will be interesting.
Is that a
Yeah.
review?
No, that's not review. That's I drop on purpose cigar, completely destroy it, and I smoke it after that. And it keep in ash and everything.
So Ray's test of good construction isn't, does it have a good draw? Is it, you know, firmly packed? Is it plugged or does it burn well? No.
Is it Usman proof?
Yeah, yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
Ray's method of testing the construction of a cigar is launching it on the ground,
Keeping.
causing as much damage as possible, and then seeing if it smokes well after that.
Yeah, a little bit of an experiment. I like that kind of stuff. So
That's not an experiment. That's just
it's a cigar. It's a Monte 4. Nothing, you know, heartbreaking or whatever.
you should do that on the Cohiba Supremos.
I have only 2 left.
Now who's the poser, dickhead?
Only 2 left, man. What was there?
I've got 0 left. How am I posing with them? Anyway, let's do the
You
introduction.
won't see me smoking a Supremos here. So.
I want to smoke a Supremos though. I thought we were best friends. You know, you said you were gonna give me a cigar if I was on time.
So which one?
You wasn't on time, and I was already. Alex suggests what cigar I can give you.
What was it? Gurkha.
You're not gonna find out because you've been late.
I wasn't late.
Yeah.
Oh, but I could review it. courtesy of Ray. I could call it an Usman review.
It's not working like that.
Anyway, welcome back to the live stream. I know we've taken a few weeks off. We had a couple of things that we needed to kind of, well, I needed to sort a few things out. These guys were ready to go anyway. But it was also summer. You know, people want to be outside. People want to do things. It was just, I mean,
Yeah, the last 3 weeks didn't stop raining.
yeah, but still, we had a little bit of sunshine.
In
Kinda.
Not in Leeds.
Kinda. I had like,
That's why I told you. You always. I'm telling you, you're living in Bradford, man.
how is this? You're literally not, it's not even the same post. I'm not going to even get into it. Do you know what? Nah, I can't. Anyway, taking a few weeks off. We're back again. I don't know if you guys are going to join us again every week or actually we're going to do it every 2 weeks now. And yeah, this one, I think it's an interesting topic. We're going to be talking about investing in cigars and how to invest in cigars. This is not financial advice, by the way. So obviously there are going to be risks involved for you. There's a chance that you might lose money. This is not financial advice in any way, shape or form. This is what some would classify as guidance, But that's basically it. This is just thoughts and suggestions and ideas of what we think works in the cigar industry in terms of investing and some of the methods and some of the techniques you can use to invest. It's going to tap into some of the points that Ray raised in the previous video that we did, where we talked about how to build an insane cigar collection. So some of the points are gonna overlap some of the points that we made in that video, but that's because, you know, the principles remain very similar. And in this video, let's talk about investing in cigars. So we were talking about regional editions towards the beginning of the video, and yeah, so the one I'm smoking is the Gran Britannia La Gloria Cubana. I can't pronounce this stuff, man. It's the La Gloria Cubana Great Britain Regional Edition cigar, and that's the one that I'm smoking. Apparently I'm a poser for that, but you know, whatever. These guys are knobheads anyway. Anyway, regional editions. Ray, what do you think? Because we had a brief discussion about this before we started the video when we were just hanging out, and we were talking about how regional editions, they're a bit hit and miss, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the best way to get rid of all cigars. Make them regional editions. I'm not joking.
I don't know if I subscribe to it. I don't know.
Most of the regional editions for me, they're literally a different way to sell some cigars which you don't sell, obviously.
Not gonna lie, the last regional edition that I smoked...
I'm not talking about the fancy ones. You know, there's some like Manatua, you know, the Italian one, the Serbia, Sancho Panza, which are very expensive. But the stuff like Flor de Caña...
Oh, that was horrible.
So...
Okay, not horrible, but it was just...
That kind of stuff like... what else was one of the recent ones I have smoked as well? It was similar Vitola, not really expensive as well. And
there's the Flor de Caña and then La Gloria Cubana, same Vitola.
Yeah.
Same Vitola. They both suck.
Original editions, they're supposed to be something more special than, you know, like what you're smoking at the moment. It's quite unique Vitola. You won't see, I don't really remember, I don't know, Sancho Panza, the Serbian edition, is it the same Vitola or slightly longer than that?
I don't think so. I think that's a proper, because this is only a slight Figurado. That one is a proper Figurado.
I don't want to say 100% because I'm not entirely sure, but...
I feel like I think I know which one I'm talking about.
That kind of Vitolas, which are unique, which are made on purpose for the specific brand, specific idea of the original release, it worked. But everything like which is short robusto, maybe longer robusto, double robusto, for me that's a cigars which, I don't know, they're not made for a specific market. They just decide to rebrand them as a, because they either been aged in a factory or they find some old, but I don't know. But not all the regional edition are worth the money. I think the few of the most interesting regional editions, if you can count the UK ones, obviously.
But why the UK ones? Why the UK ones?
Because the UK is one of the most collectible markets in the world. You know, people collecting cigars here a lot, despite the price tag. You know, the price tag is ridiculous. As you say, Lorena is 50, 60, how many?
Almost £60, yeah.
£60 for Lorena, and it's a small Vitola.
Lancero?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like 55 ringgit on something Churchill or whatever. It's a relatively
but
small
Lanceros
Vitola.
are popular amongst collectors.
It is, but that's probably the most expensive Lancero on the market in UK. Cohiba Lancero is cheaper. Trinidad Fundadores is cheaper.
Yeah.
Monte number 1 is way cheaper.
More of a Lonsdale, that isn't it?
Monte 1 is a proper Lancero.
Especial is a Lancero.
Special Lancero, yeah. I mean, the special.
Yeah.
So all the Lancero has the most expensive Lancero on the market, which is double the, you know, Monte Special number 1, it's £25, 20 something. Cheaper. So 3 times more expensive cigar, same Vitola. So it's a relatively small Vitola. And the price tag is high. It's UK regional. I can give you an example with another UK regional. That was the Hunters and Franco Ramona Iones, 225 anniversary, with a crazy nice looking humidor, which is like a cabinet.
Yeah.
That cigar is
they don't even
probably over 120 pounds at the moment.
Yeah, they don't even put a price on that humidor. You know, they just put POA.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know.
Which means we can't afford it.
Yeah.
I have seen.
If you need to ask the price, you can't afford it.
I've seen few of those humidors empty in eBay. They go for more than 1,000. Empty.
Yeah.
Just a box.
I asked Mitchell how much it was, and he was like, "Yeah, I can't tell you exactly, but I can give you an." You know, he was. It's because I was like, how much is it? So he goes, well, it's kind of like, and I'm like, can you give me an exact figure? He goes, I can't give you an exact figure because it's going to go for an auction, but it's somewhere in the region of about close to 20,000.
I try to remember how many cigars have in the humidor originally. I can't, either 30 something odd numbers or, but as I say, the Ramon Iones itself is more than 120 pounds at the moment. I think release time, on the time of the release, that cigar wouldn't be more than 30 quid, probably. But because it's a Hunter San Franco limited edition, anniversary edition, weird Vitola as well, it's a like Bellicoso, but at the same time it's not pointed on the top. It's like very oval on the top. It's very unique Vitola.
This one was very, very
similar on the top, similar on that. So it's a unique Vitola and collectible. And also Ramon Iones is not a brand which make a lot of the original editions and stuff. As well with the Sancho Panza, I told you. Sancho Panza, that's one of the latest. I think they released one or two after that, and that was it. Sancho Panza, Serbia. I don't know why that cigar is so collectible. It's over €100, that cigar. It's very collectible. No one wants to sell that.
Why is it so collectible?
I don't know.
Is it a good
I have no idea.
It might be because
I
it's a
haven't
good
smoked
cigar.
it. I haven't smoked it.
I see.
I have no idea why that's so collectible. It's just maybe smaller number. Maybe Serbia. I'm not sure if the Serbia have another original edition or that's the only one. Same as Bulgaria, my country. The original edition is Bolivar. It's called 681. Bolivar 681. I think you still might find some boxes, but the price is triple since the release.
Wow.
Even in not in pounds, even in Bulgarian level or whatever currency you want to use them, euro,
it's
whatever.
Tripled in price.
It's a tripled in the release.
Wow.
I think being released like 12, 13 years ago.
Can you get them in?
I can possibly find some.
But how much do they cost? About
50 quid a piece probably.
50
That's
quid a
not
cigar?
pound. That's not a pound. The pound's probably 30, 40 pounds.
So still within reason compared to like UK prices.
It's reason, but that's made for not for the UK market.
Yeah, exactly.
It's original edition
So
for
it's
the
not
Bulgaria.
it's not gonna appreciate that much in value over here.
So 50 pound, the same money in Bulgaria you can buy Behike, almost the same money.
Really?
So that original is the price of the Behike. Imagine Behike 52 is what, 80 pounds, 90 pounds. Same money to be that original edition.
But this is the thing about regional cigars, because most regional cigars only tend to, if they do appreciate in value, they tend to only appreciate in value within their respective regions, except for EMS.
I think not only the regions, I think the Vitola and the brand.
That's true.
Because we mentioned the Flor de Cane.
Yeah, but regional cigars are never for the main brands from Cuba anyway. They're always the
they're not allowed. The top 5 brands are not allowed regional editions.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the reasons why it's really hit and miss in terms of whether a regional cigar is gonna be a good investment or not. Because you just never know. It's not one of the main 5 brands. It's not Monte Cristo. It's not Cohiba. So you just don't know what's gonna happen.
I think if you wanna invest in original edition cigars, stick to the UK ones, the British releases.
But you gotta buy them when they first come out.
Also try to find cigars which are released because of an event or something like that. The Asia Pacific Punch 858 or something like that was the name.
We just had someone ask about an Asia Pacific.
Yeah, the Asia Pacific one, the Punch, if that's the cigar. I think that being released because of the biggest collector, one of the biggest aficionado in that region over there, passed away, and Cuba decided to commemorate with the first Asia Pacific. I think it's the first Asia Pacific cigar.
There was a guy here, a guy called Eric, who I don't believe we've seen commenting before. So
hello, Eric.
He was asking.
What is his surname?
Albessa.
Okay.
He's asking if you'd had the Rafael Gonzalez 88 regional edition 2016 Asia Pacifico. Don't know if that's the right way to say all that. But
I don't think it was a Rafael Gonzalez. I think it was a Punch, but maybe I'm mistaken. As I say, guys, the original editions are quite missing out for me. I don't follow them.
Same here. I don't
usually know all of them. I know some very populars, and that was it. But like I mentioned before, I think in some of the previous shows, some of the guys mentioned the Manatua, the Italian original edition, which is Lancero or Lonsdale size.
I think Lonsdale, not Lancero.
Something like that. Yeah. And that is a brand which not exists. So they bring back the whole brand.
That one will probably appreciate in value because it's completely new. There's nothing else like that on the market.
Nothing after. Yeah. It's been only
it's a discontinued brand as well.
Yeah, discontinued old brand. Let's say take off the dust from that brand, produce one cigar, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that must be very special relations with the Italian market. The people, the Habanos, when they release it, they must have a very good reason to release that cigar.
Precisely, yeah. Is the audio bad? What's going on?
It's fine.
Okay. No, yeah,
So that kind of cigars, they're collectible. The Fifth Avenue as well.
yeah.
The Fifth Avenue, because the Fifth Avenue shop not exists for a while, and the other cigar related to the to the US Fifth Avenue. I know it's not related to the US, but the beginning being related to the US.
Yeah.
That's also collectible. Also not easy to find. But
Let's put some ground rules in. I mean, not rules, ground guidance. Basically, when it comes, I know that makes no sense.
Some ground.
Guidance.
Definitely not financial advice.
I mean, when it comes to, because it's not financial advice, please don't take this as financial advice. When it comes to regional edition cigars, if it's a relatively similar Vitola, or like if it's a short Robusto or something like that, chances are it's probably not going to do well unless it's been developed for a particular event, it's been developed to commemorate something in particular, it's been developed with a particular brand involved. For example, the Hunters and Franco one that we mentioned. I mean, the Vitola is a standard Vitola, if we're being honest, right? A Bellicoso is a Bellicoso.
I would say it also depends which country you are living. So we live in UK. For us, the UK edition is very interesting. But if you're living in Canada, you want to get the Canada edition. It doesn't matter what's the Vitola, you want to get the Canada one. But let's say if you're in a more developed country related to the cigars, like Spain, France, you get more limited editions, more regional editions. Maybe then you need to choose to the one which you want to invest, because they, then come to the Vitola, to the stuff like that. But if you in Spain, I will give the Spain again. And
Spain gets way too many regions.
Yeah, they've got a lot of regional editions. They're like UK. They have one of the most decent selection with the regional editions, and most of them are not.
Yeah, most of them are just duds.
Just a Robusto, short Robusto.
Exactly. It's just like stuff that they're just kind of throwing out there, and they put an extra band on. Like, okay, yeah, this is great.
And they have even the Cuiba year of the whatever, year of the pig, year of the rat, year of something. They have them in the Spanish regional edition as well.
Are they? I thought they were just.
I think they're Spanish release.
I don't think that's because they were bought. They were available here as well.
Are they?
Yeah, they were available here.
Okay.
I mean, not for long.
Then.
Not for long. They went.
I always think they are made for the Spanish market. I don't know why.
No, because they're made to commemorate the Chinese New Year's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they're available.
Which is traditionally celebrated very often in Spain.
Yeah. Because of the massive Chinese community there. Do they have a massive Chinese community?
I don't think so.
No, I was thinking because a lot of distributors produce their own packaging on some of the boxes. I've seen one of the latest one. I need to think which country was Trinidad. So they add fundadores, but they add old fundadores also.
The old
bands.
Yeah.
Into the package, which is not a Habanos package. It's not released by Habanos. It's been repacked in the local distribution.
So it's not a real gold band Trinidad then?
No, it's an old one. But
it's the old ones.
Yes.
They've just
they open a box of old ones, add them into the new ones, and selling them as a one package, as a package with 10 cigars. So I don't remember what cigars. There was a 2 different sizes, Vitolas and stuff. And I've just seen the box like 2 or 3 days ago.
So they haven't created a new Vitola. They haven't created a new cigar. They've just repackaged some more. That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, Habanos allow them. I've seen something with the jars as well. In some countries, they decide to repack some cigars into the jars, which are not official release.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Because those gold Trinidads, they are difficult. I mean, they're almost impossible to find, and they're incredible. Who was it? Edward Sahakian, the younger one. He was speaking to one of my friends. He was doing an interview with him. And in the interview, he was asked, what's your favorite cigar? And he goes, oh, that's easy. No, sorry, not what's your favorite cigar. What's the best cigar you've ever smoked? Because that's easy. Trinidad Gold Band, the Fundadores. And those are incredible cigars. Like Fundadores cigars, they're amazing anyway. But those Gold Bands, for some reason, maybe it's because of the age, apparently they're like amazing, amazing smokes. Could be.
Yeah, but it's a lot of different stuff into the regional market. As I say, Habanos give him a lot of
leeway.
A lot of even the new releases. They released the last regional editions they released for Fuenica, the Lebanon, the Grease, and I think few others. They are very expensive even on the release. You know, the Baalbek, it's more than 1,000. It's a 50 cabinet. I think the single piece is 30 euro, 40 euro.
30 euro. Wow.
Yeah, so that's quite a lot for. But it's a first Lebanon edition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, Fuenica released
That's something to also consider as well. If it's a first time
yeah.
edition, not always the case. Not always.
And Baalbek is an interesting Vitola.
Yeah.
It's a Lonsdale type of
it's a weird one.
Siglo 5 type Vitola. That's kind
Siglo
of
5 is kind of a Lonzo, but yeah.
It's that I'm not entirely sure the measurements, but it's look like that as well. 50 cabinet as well. So original edition of 50 cabinet.
That's pretty cool.
I don't think I've seen other like that. I need to think a lot, but 50 cabinet on original editions. I don't know, but yeah, it's also they released the
Normally they
Fuenica
either
ones.
10 or 25, right?
They released the 40th anniversary Fuenica
Yeah.
as well in that region. Fuenica is the biggest distributor in the Balkans, Southeastern Europe,
Basically
Middle
the whole
Eastern,
region,
that
yeah.
whole region. No,
Yeah,
it's Fuenica, the company like Hunters
Do
and
they do
Franco.
Turkey as well?
I think so.
I think they
I
do,
think in
yeah.
Turkey as well. So all that region has been Fuenica, and they have a 40th anniversary this year. The same like Hunters and Franco 225, the same Fuenica 40, and they released two cigars I think for the event, and everywhere even on the day of the event if you want to buy them they was like 40 quid a piece.
Yeah.
So quite expensive.
But they tend to go up in value.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to go up in value, and that's that's basically the idea, right? You want to purchase something that you think is going to go up in value. That's the crux of what investment is. But regional cigars, general regional cigars, they tend to be a little bit hit and miss. They need to have, like, just because something's a regional cigar doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go up in value. It needs to be a regional cigar plus 1, 2, and 3, or 1 and 2.
What
So it
about
needs-
where it comes from?
UK markets tend to be
Because-
much
so,
better.
Lawrence pointed out Ireland hasn't had any Cuban regional releases, whereas a country like Andorra has.
Yeah, but Andorra is one of the biggest sellers in the region and over there.
Yeah,
People flying from UK to Andorra to buy Cubans.
basically.
So that's why.
People don't fly to Ireland to buy Cubans because
Yeah.
they've got no bans.
That's why
Yeah, of course.
It's depends how the country selling. You know why Australia don't have a regional edition? They don't sell. They almost don't sell any cigars there.
Yeah,
So Habanos make a, let's say, like a honor for all that distributors and countries which selling a lot and have a special relations with them, and release the cigars for that market. Why are you gonna release the Irish market if you're selling, let's say, 20 boxes in Ireland today, and if you sell 200 in Andorra? Why are you gonna make the Irish
Exactly.
edition?
But not just
you're
that.
gonna make Andorra because they sell it 10 times more.
but not just that. People are not going to fly over to Ireland specifically to buy cigars because they've got those non-bans, right? They've got the.
Well,
fake
I
ban.
don't think people fly specifically to Andorra to buy those.
No.
regional
We're
editions.
talking about collecting
Yeah,
editions.
same with the Alex point to Andorra. Why Andorra have a
Just because it's put on here.
people not fly to Andorra to buy the original edition of Andorra. They fly to buy Cubans at all,
Yeah,
and in the meantime, they might get a box of Andorra original edition.
yeah.
I don't even remember what was the Andorra ones, to be honest. Must be something I don't know.
Probably
I can't remember. But anyway, it was just because of that. Habanos say, yeah, we're a good partner. You're selling a lot of our cigars. We can produce you something.
But Ireland doesn't have the market for it from the looks of it.
I never been in Ireland. I have a few friends which they say it's a bad situation there with the bans at the moment and everything. And I think a distributor for Ireland is Hunters and Franco.
Yeah.
So if
Hunters and
Hunters
Franco
say,
isn't-
if they say we're selling a lot in Ireland, they might negotiate with Habanos.
Yeah.
Maybe Habanos will produce them some small Robusto something.
But
you know.
even if they did, it'd be worthless to collectors and investors. And the reason for that is because he doesn't have a band on it. And that band attaches a great deal of value.
It's an interesting point because
Let me put it this
theoretically
way.
they can put the other one can't put the blind bands, you know, the
Where you can sell the bands in a bag or something like separately.
no, I mean you can produce original edition with the plain package bands. That would be unique as well.
That's a very good point.
That would be one off because
That's a
no
very
other
good point.
countries have that one.
It would, but it'd also be a bit shit.
It would be ugly. I know it would be ugly because the bands and the boxes are one of the most beautiful things in the cigars.
Precisely.
You know?
But they remove everything like that. They put it in plain boxes, plain bands, right?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I want that they remove the bands at all or they cover them. because nether ones will cover the bands, I think, from
If
the
you
next
cover
year.
if you cover the bands, then it's still got value for a collector, for an investor. But if you're buying Behikes with no bands, how is that useful to an
You
investor?
can lose some authenticity as well, can't you?
Precisely.
That's the biggest problem with the plain packaging, the authenticity on some of the cigars.
Exactly.
Because everyone can get a custom roll and say that's Behike.
Exactly. Exactly. So stay away from plain band cigars if you're going to try and invest in anything anytime soon. That's one of the obvious things to consider, I guess. But with regionals, yeah, I mean, if it's a UK market regional, again, it depends, because between the two regionals that have come out, we've got the La Reina and we've got the La Gloria Cubana. The La Reina has gone up in price quite a lot. Lancero Vitola, but Lanceros are like, I don't know about the market perspective. I don't know, and I could be wrong here, but I feel like Lanceros have a special kind of allure to them in my mind.
We might note that something else, you know, the both regional editions you mentioned, UK ones, they came up on the market in a period where the people start smoking more and more. Well, quite new smokers get into the hobby.
Yeah.
So not only people which smoke a budget smokes,
But
but
this
they
is
also people.
2019, so before
Yeah,
the
but
pandemic.
that's the, you know, the last 3 or 4 years there was significantly rise into the smoking.
Yeah.
And people, you know, if you're a new smoker and you see a special edition for the UK, you might say, I'm gonna treat myself with that. You know, I get a box
That's very true.
and I'm gonna keep the box and smoke it every anniversary, Christmas, whatever you want to smoke it. But that's because you have an increased amount of people start smoking it.
Yeah.
So that's also because UK, that's not the first UK releases. They have a few releases before.
Yeah. And they've
And
all
I don't think
done
they go that
relatively well.
quickly up in the price as well.
Not that much, but they have gone up in value.
Up
A
in
bunch
value,
of
but
them.
we're talking for 10, 12, 15 years period.
About 3 years, 5 years. 3 to 5 years, they tend to go up. 3 to 5 years, they tend to go up in a decent amount. The La Reina has been out for what, 2 years now? 2 years. And it's gone up in price quite sharpish. Came out about £30 each. It's now close to 60. It's almost
So
doubled.
I don't think any of the past Vitolas before the Lorena, the past editions go that quickly the double price.
But then you have to also consider the fact that I don't think it's gone up organically. I'll tell you
not,
why.
does it say demand?
No,
You have bigger
I guess,
demand.
True. But I'll tell you why. I think that Mitchell's a very smart man, right? He's the only person who's got him in stock at the moment.
It's the biggest distributor on them, so that's why hunters give it to him.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's obviously got bigger amounts of stock. He can hold back stock if he needs to. And when the market basically dries up, put those cigars back on the market. So it's not I mean, technically it's organic because it's based on demand, but it's also not organic because the price has been inflated after supply has been basically taken out. And it's almost artificial. It's almost artificial.
And that with the UK prices, it's true. Also, if you take the Spanish market, the prices are dictated by the government. You can't change the price. You can't sell them. You can't hide them and get them out of the boxes like 2 years later and selling them twice expensive. No.
But
It's
that's great. That is a great option for other people who live in Europe, because if they've got Behikes, they've got Behikes. They've got to sell them. If they've got limited edition cigars, they've got to stock them. They can't just put them away. They have to sell them at the price stated. So let's say someone's living in Germany or even England. If you live in England, some limited edition cigars that you want to get hold of and you want to put away for the next 5 years. Because limited edition cigars generally tend to do quite well. Not always, generally.
But
You could
there's a
basically
difference
go to-
in the limited edition. Limited editions are not boxed. They're not numbered boxes and stuff like that. They just produce them. You know, there's information that actually some of the you can mention the Talisman.
Yeah,
It's a limited edition 2017, but we all know they produced a second batch 2019.
they did.
So that's not going to happen with the original editions.
No.
The original editions, very, very rare, they decide to produce another small batch.
Yeah.
As the Balbec, I can give the Balbec again. I've seen in the discussion recently, some guy posted a Balbec, a box of Balbec original edition. And inside the box, it say box X from 3000. On the outside cover, it say box X from 6000. Same box. And he asked, because it was a group for knowledge basically, he asked how that had come. And they say because the Habanos make the mistake officially to announce 3000 and they actually make 6000 of them. Yeah, so you have a one same box, you know, dual cover. You have the wooden box, the cabinet, and you have the nice paper, velvet, whatever cover.
Yeah.
So one of them say 6,000, the other one say 3,000.
But limited editions, regardless of whether they get reproduced again or not, because they do, we know they do, not always, but they do, based on whatever parameters the Habano sees fit or whatever, they still tend to go up in price. So if you look at the 2019 Talisman and the 2017 Talisman, if you get the 2017 Talisman, they're more collectible.
They get in the limited editions, I think getting pay, you know, raising the money, raising in the price because of the demand for them.
Yeah.
And because they are available everywhere.
Yeah.
So you go in every La Casa del Habano shop, you should have LCDH cigars, you should have limited edition cigars, you should have maybe some original, depending on the region.
Yeah.
And all that, let's say they produce X amount of talismans, but they're available everywhere.
Yeah.
People can buy them everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and if you in some moment, if all the talismans are sold out in Europe, in some moment the collectors will come in England and pay the English price for them. That will mean the price will go up because they don't have the amount. They up the price. We don't have a control from the government here about the prices. And everyone can sell a talisman for £500 if you want.
Yeah.
People still gonna buy it.
Precisely.
Yes, because there's a rich people, collectors, they want to have a talisman. They want to have the talisman. Doesn't matter the price.
This is why, weirdly, England is a great market for investors. Maybe for selling, but even for like, so if you live in England, like we were talking about, the Spanish market has a government control over the prices, right? So they can't inflate the prices artificially. They can't they can't say, okay, I'm going to hold back certain stock. So you could buy limited edition cigars from there. It's going to be less expensive, even if you factor in customs and everything into it.
Do you think because of that control on the price in some countries, they don't get a lot of stock?
Well, the Spanish Spanish get a lot of stock.
Yes, but if the Spanish get a lot of stock, let's say talisman, we're talking about the talisman. If the Spanish Spanish market get 100 talisman, 100 boxes of talisman, do you think the UK market get 200? Just because the price is different here and they make more margin. Do you think like Hunters and Franco have an exclusive rights and say, look, we selling them more expensive and we have bigger demand, we want double amount of what you send to France or Spain, where the prices are controlled?
Because the market in Spain is so huge.
It's huge, but we're talking to the market.
They need to cater to that market.
No one separate the limited editions market and the normal releases. The market in figures, the figures in the market, they're collectible for all the cigars. Let's say if the Spanish market is 20 million cigars a year, UK will be whatever, 25 or 15, doesn't matter. But nobody separate and say 10% of that 20 million cigars are limited editions or 15% are LCDH.
Yeah.
There's no LCDH in Spain anyway, but that no one separate that. So
No, but I think that with limited editions, you have to cater to the demand of the market, right? Otherwise, it just kind of goes a bit warped. So if you give too little in one area and too much, especially if you've got a massive demand with one of the biggest distributors well, not the biggest distributor, but one of the biggest markets for cigars in the world as an individual country, because they've only recently dropped down to China, and China's got over 1 billion in terms of population. So when you've got demand that high in a single country, you have to cater to that, and that includes limited editions as well. So I doubt that Habanos are looking at the Spanish market and thinking, oh no, we're not going to give them that many cigars because they have a government cap on what the prices are. Because from Habanos' perspective, as soon as they go to the distributor, whether the price goes up to £1 million or goes up by a tenner, it doesn't make a difference to them because they were bought originally at the price that they were bought.
The difference is that a distributor that knows they're going to sell them at a higher price could potentially bid higher for them.
True.
Yeah, and I was thinking Hunters and Franco is one of the oldest distributors. They have relations with Habanos for ages. Yeah. So theoretically they can say, look, we're the oldest partners to your company. We want
But do you think
more.
That, but I doubt the Habanos are telling Hunters and Franco how much they're giving the Spanish. Because you'd keep those contracts under wraps.
In that high level, everyone know what they go in the market.
I don't know. I think that there'll be rumors, but I don't think they'll actually know specific numbers about what's going where and where.
Do you think the main distributors didn't talk between them? Do Do you think Hunters and Franco didn't negotiate, didn't talk, didn't have a meetings with the Spanish distributor
they might do.
and the Fuenic and stuff? They're a bunch of people. They know each other.
Yeah.
Everyone know what he's getting on his market.
I agree. I mean, they probably have some discourse, but I don't think that they. I mean, there could be a racket.
What about New Worlds then? Because we said about Cubans a lot. Are there any New Worlds worth investing in? As
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Second half.
well, we've had two people.
We are going to talk about new, because we have to talk about New Worlds, but we're going to get to that. This is what we're still in the first half. Still in the first half, because Cubans are the biggest investment opportunities for collectors at the moment, and they have been for a long time. Things might be changing. They are changing, but for a long time it has been
vintage
Cubans.
cigars, the vintage cigars. If you
But
need to be
Cubans,
correct,
right? They're still Cubans.
oh, some Fuentes are worth a lot of money.
We're going to get to that, but predominantly the market for investment in collectors is Cubans at the moment. But things are changing slightly. But we are going to talk about that, because we have to talk about New Worlds. I mean, it's a huge market, you know. But with Cubans, I find limited edition cigars. If you get Cohibas, generally, they tend to increase in value quite a lot. Even the Talisman. I mean, the Talisman, in my mind, isn't a great cigar. I didn't think it was that good, even after 3 years of age. You know, it was smokable, but I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't something that I thought, okay, I need to get more of these. And I smoked about 6 of them, and every time I smoked it, I was just like, oh, for fuck's sakes, when's this going to end? Because it's a big cigar, 54 ring gauge, what is it, 6 1/4, something like that. Relatively big cigar, 2 hour smoke for me. That's a long time to smoke something which I'm not properly enjoying. And even then, that cigar's gone up in price by quite an amount over the last few years. And it hasn't even been 5 years since that's been released. Because 2017 is when they get announced, 2018 is when they actually come out.
I always say that Cohiba, we need to separate Cohiba from everything else. Because Cohiba is the flagship on the Habanos. Everything what they release on the name Cohiba, which is not a standard release. Even the standard releases, I can't find them, but everything which is not a standard release, you know, like 1966, like Robusto Supremo.
Yeah, I mean, the 1966
if we go back
is
to
what
the
now?
pyramids and everything back in time, everything going up because it's the flagship, is the top brand on Habanos. Every decent collector wants to have them.
Yeah.
So Supremos, they released them on £30 2014.
About 35, 40.
Now they are more than 100, 120 pounds if you find some.
Yeah.
1966, worse.
350 now. 350.
Yeah. So 1966 is £350. Release price, 30, 40 quid. They never released it more than that. So look at that. That's 10 times more, not double. 10 times more.
No, it's 5 times more if you factor in inflation.
Okay. So the Talisman is the next flagship.
Yeah.
They didn't release anything after the Talisman. So the Talisman is release price £35, I believe. Literally today I've talked with a guy about the Talisman.
It was about 45 in the UK.
30, 40 quid in the price. Now it's 90, 100.
111.
So next thing Cohiba release as a limited edition would be, you know, I'm not talking about that 55, 60 anniversary.
No, they've got a new limited edition coming out.
But when will be out? Nobody
Don't
know. Whatever, as I said, I'm not talking about the anniversary editions, because the anniversary.
No, they've got actual limited editions coming out as well at the same time. Yeah, but this is the thing about the thing to remember is with Cohiba, you have to buy the box the year that it comes out into store, when the price is about. I mean, now the price of limited edition, they're probably going to be about £80 when they first come out.
Everything, if you want to collect and invest, you need to have a box. Not only Cohiba. You buy Supremos, you buy whatever, Fundadores, you know, not Fundadores, it's not limited edition, but if you buy Monte 80th or something which is different, you need to have the box to be worth investing. If you buy a singles, 5 cigars, you will sell them on a profit if you decide, but not going to be as if you buy a box.
No.
And usually the box needs to be full.
Precisely.
Full, if it's sealed, better.
I'm finding a little bit different information. I'm finding that I could be wrong here.
If you collector and people know you're a collector, they want the sealed box. If the people don't know you as a collector name, maybe it will be risky to buy from you.
I'll tell you why.
But other day I've been on an auction a few days ago.
I'll tell you why.
It was 5 boxes pre-revolution Cubans, all small Vitolas, Petit Coronas and something different brands, all been sealed in the paper. You know, in the past how the boxes come with the paper cover. 5 boxes. The estimate for the auction was 300 to 400 for all of them. They finished for 4,400.
Wow.
They're sealed. They might be moldy. They might be everything. It's 60, 70 years old cigars.
I'll tell you why.
They're sealed.
I'll tell you why sealed doesn't matter that much anymore. No EMS cigars are sealed. That's why. And EMS cigars are still extremely collectible.
I don't know. Maybe because I'm going back to the vintage stuff.
From the vintage
where
stuff,
the vintage
yes.
stuff are more collectible.
Vintage
they're sealed.
stuff, yes. I agree. And the reason why the vintage stuff is because they're pre-revolution, they're a part of history.
Even after that, 60s, 70s as well, they're very collectible if they're sealed.
I agree, but there's a certain historical element to them when they're sealed. But with EMS cigars or current day production and current day limited edition cigars, it's less of an issue. If anything, people want to know that they haven't gone off. Because what you don't want to do, if you're investing, it's not an investment if you're purchasing a box of cigars to sell 50 years from now. That's not a good idea as an investment. That's a terrible idea as an investment because your return on investment is going to be minimal, right? It's like per year you're making what? What's 4,000 over 50 years? Not a lot. So the idea is...
Yeah, but back in the time, that cigar boxes was less than £10 probably.
But even despite that, still, 4,000 over 50 years, it's not a lot of money. The idea in terms of investment is you want to purchase something and then you want to be able to sell it within 5, maximum 10 years.
And as Eric points out, that's also 50 years of upkeep and storage.
Precisely. It's a lot of...
When you're buying them sealed, you're taking a risk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of factors. I mean, there's a cost involved per year. Every year, inflation comes in. So you have to factor in inflation. Every year. Every year on average, over a 10-year period, over the last few decades, over a 10-year period, the average inflation has been, 20% a year? I mean, not exactly 20% per year, but on average, if you go across the period, it's about 20%. We've had massive recessions as well. Inflation has cut through the value of money quite a lot. Every single decade, it's going to go down. So if you double your money, you haven't really doubled your money. Plus, you've got to factor in the aspect of storing, and there's a cost to that. Each year, there's a cost to that, right? So you want to try and keep it for the smallest period of time possible, whilst also gaining the maximum return. And generally, the biggest return is within the first 5 years. So you want to be able to sell it 5 years from when you initially purchase it. So if you purchase a box of talismans, let's say in 2017, 2018, you want to sell them between 2022 and 2025.
Do you not think if you sell them another 5 years later, they will be way more expensive?
It'll be worth more, but it wouldn't be worth the risk. So you don't want to go... One of the best bits of advice that I ever received from someone was, you never want to go for the bottom, you never want to go for the top. Just play in the middle. Play in the middle. It's a safer area to work in. You might make a smaller margin on each one, but there's a lower chance of losing money.
Yeah, unless you're in a position where you can lose it. I mean, realistically, you can't make any investment if you're not willing to lose it potentially.
Yeah, do not invest any money you're not happy to lose. Rule number 1. Never ever invest money that you're not happy to lose. I mean, not happy to lose, but that you can't afford to lose. Like you wouldn't put your house up to get an investment. It's a stupid amount of risk to take on. So,
yeah, risk versus reward is not.
Precisely. It's something that you need to factor in, risk versus reward. So this is why I think a good idea to try and minimize the risk as much as possible. This is something that we talked about as well. Buy 1 box a year. If you want to keep things very small. And because we're talking to people who are like kind of in our league when it comes to like finance, whatever. Most of us are not going to be able to afford to buy ridiculous numbers of boxes of cigars and become a huge collector because we've got massive humidors in our homes and whatever, right? Most of us have got, most of us are me and Alex. Ray, you're obviously doing well, But most of us are not in a position to buy lots and lots of boxes per year. But
Don't buy, don't buy. As I say, I've got a rule. I don't pay a lot of silly money for cigars.
no, I know.
Even if I want them, if they're not in my price range, I won't buy them. I'll find them cheaper. That's what I'm doing.
I agree. And I think that a good way to do it is if you want to try and minimize the amount of risk and also kind of manage it more effectively, buy one box a year. One box a year, it's a comfortable degree of investment, doesn't require a massive amount of outlay, and it also requires less management across the years when it comes to cigars. You buy one box, seal it up. If you buy EMS, make sure that obviously you've done your checks and everything. Well, if it's EMS, you don't need to do too many checks because the checks have been done for you, essentially. Seal that off. Periodically check your cigars to make sure that they're aging correctly and they've been stored correctly, so they're not getting mold, they're not getting beetles, anything like that. And if you're sealing them off individually as well, not putting into your mass humidor, then there's lower chance of risk that all of them are going to fail because you don't want beetles on those kinds of issues. Because that's another factor to consider. Cigar beetles is a terrible thing to happen, but it can happen.
Not if you buy from legit sources.
I know, but there's always even if it's a small chance, even if it's a tiny chance, there's a tiny chance. So I think that it's better to seal them off individually.
Well, storage is a personal preference. People store them on a lower temperature to not age properly, to slow down. So storing is a personal preference. Yeah, I don't think someone will judge if the cigars are stored on 60 or 65. If you're gonna buy something, if let's say if you're an investor, you buy box, you store them on 65, for example. If after that you're selling them to a buyer, and the buyer say, I don't bother if it's 65 or 67 or 69, if they are stored in the minimum to maximum optimum temperature and humidity, I'm all right with that.
Exactly. Most collectors tend to be okay with that because they know that
they're not
that's
going to smoke
reason.
them right away. They're going to keep them in their boxes and they're going
Exactly. They're going to manage and store it the way that they want it, bring it to the level that they like, and then smoke it. And they'll spend maybe about a year storing their own cigars before they smoke them anyway, especially if they're special cigars, limited editions like the 1966 or something to that extent. So I think good idea is purchase one box or fewer boxes, store them away, and try and sell them within a 5-year period. And that I think is enough time for certain limited editions to go up in value. Because the Talisman already gone up by more than double, right? The La Reina already gone up, and it's only been a couple of years. Because the first few boxes sell out very quickly, and then it's kind of like a scramble. Where can we get these? Then Cigars comes out with their own hidden stock, right? They come out with it a few years later, they bump up the price. But when they bump up the price, then the secondary market, the price bumps up there as well. Because people will factor in the cost of retail to the cost of what the actual, the personal market is. And then a few years after that, when those stocks are gone as well, then that price would kind of go up to that level where people are happy to pay the actual retail price of what it was at that time. So 5-year period is kind of what I think. I think longer than that, the risk becomes much greater for a much lower reward.
But that's kind of a personal thing, isn't it?
I agree.
How much the risk factor is yours to decide.
Precisely, yeah. No, Alex is right. Alex is absolutely right.
Because it's I used to, I'm a small collector, but I have cigars which I bought with the idea to sell them, and I don't sell them. I just can't sell them. I don't want.
I was going to say, what cigars have you invested in?
I invest in the beginning when I start buying on the auctions. The idea was to resell them and make some profit. That was the idea.
But you do make money off your cigars.
Let's say from 1,000 cigars I bought with that idea, I resell not more than 100.
But here's what I find.
And I buy all of them to be investment and resell. And I don't want to sell them.
But here's what I find that you do. And this is just an observation, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I find that you will buy cigars, so you will invest in cigars to sell so that you can purchase other cigars.
That was back in the time.
So
that
you
was the idea.
So you kind of like, what you're doing is you're recycling the funds that you've got. So the cost that you have is minimized based on the cigars
That was
you're
the
selling.
idea, as I say. That way, how I start getting some of the stuff with the idea to
Is that-
resell
is
them
that
with a
working
little
then?
bit. It worked, but I can't. I want them for myself. That was a problem with me.
I see.
You know, even when you buy now it's even harder because I'm more and more into the cigars, and even if I buy a box which I like them, I love them, I'm not gonna resell them. I told you before the show last week I bought a box with vintage Monte A. It's a very good price. I can make a profit of a 300% if I resell it straight away now.
You bought it with Mace, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can resell them
jealous.
300% profit straight away. That's cheap. That cheap I found them.
Is Mace online? Mace,
So
what are you saying about selling?
and you
them?
asked me, and I told you I don't sell them. I'm not selling them.
Well, I tried to persuade Ray to, because Ray's got what, 13 of them. You know, 13's an unlucky
That's
number.
unlucky, yeah.
Yeah. If he gives me one, then, you know.
That 13 going to the other 12 we have already, so they'll be 25.
Yeah, but 13 is still an unlucky number. You want 24. 24 is the nicest sounding number. So, Mace, you know, maybe you can have a word with Ray, intercede on my behalf.
He says no chance.
Fuck it.
So example, as I told you, when I get more and more into the cigars, I am that kind of person. I don't want to sell them. I want to keep them because I don't need that money desperate now.
Yeah.
I know I might lose money in time, but maybe one day when I passed away, my kids and my wife will have a solid financial help with my cigars.
Yeah.
So
But that's why you've already outlined a number of factors to your wife and said, look, this is what this is worth. You've got a whole freaking list. Write things down. So that's one of the crucial things. This is
Yeah,
something that a
guys.
lot of people don't do. And
a
that's why
very, a very good point. I know a lot of people, a lot of friends, they don't mention their partners, how much they spend for cigars and stuff. But in case something happened with you,
yeah.
have some spreadsheet somewhere,
Yeah.
what the cigar's worth, and update that spreadsheet every year. I would say pick a date in a year, put it in a calendar and say, I'm going to update my price list. And one day if you passed away, it's not going to be need your wife to try to sell them and knowing nothing.
Precisely.
Because otherwise Ray will buy them.
Yeah.
Me or
but
some
jo-
other
but-
guys.
but
I
jo-
put the information how to buy the like that.
Yeah,
So.
but jokes aside, it's an important thing to do. Write things down. Have a catalog. Understand that, you know, you're not the only. If it's your family, then, you know, you have to appreciate that. Just because you know something doesn't mean that the people in your family know. So God forbid something happens to you, at least your family have an idea of what they're worth, so they don't undersell ridiculously expensive cigars for some stupid price because they simply didn't know what they were
Or
worth.
even if you don't want to put the prices, explain to your partners where they need to sell them. Say that's the auctions where you need to go, because some, the Mitchell's auction, you're not going to lie on the price.
No.
He
'Cause
will
Mitchell
tell you
wants
the
to get-
estimate and the value and what you can potentially earn. Everything on top is a plus.
Because Mitchell wants the highest possible price.
So
It's better for his business.
yes, either put some name on a good friend which can value them and not gonna lie, of course, not
Yeah.
gonna do anything silly. Either put the price value on every cigar you buy.
And be adamant that they get sold on those auctions and not someone who comes with a relatively tempting offer.
Gav Lewis put something interesting up. There's an old adage in Bordeaux wine investing. Buy 2 boxes, wait, sell one, smoke the other for free.
Yeah. If you just want to minimize the cost, if you don't want to invest to try and make lots and lots of money, that's an idea. It just minimizes your cost. And this is something that I've done as well on several occasions, where I'll buy a number of cigars from before Brexit. Anyway, I used to buy a bunch from Switzerland, and I used to sell a whole bunch of them. But the rest of them, so if I bought a box of 25, I'd sell half the box. The other half is free. Or potentially, I've made a little bit of money off that.
Or
Yeah.
at the very least, not lost much.
Yeah, that's a suggestion as well.
So what other things? I mean, keeping records is obviously a good thing to do. What about, authenticity? How do you prove that when you come to sell them and things? Because
Receipts.
you've got no equity if there's no...
Well,
right?
that's why one of the reasons to still keep the boxes is because usually estimator or auction house, they can see the authenticity by the box.
Yeah.
They don't need the receipts.
But it's always a good idea to keep some receipts. Every
It's
time
not easy to keep the receipts all the
No,
time.
because you just got an online confirmation anyway.
Man, in 5 years, you don't know what email you're gonna have. You don't know what kind of stuff you
But
have.
that's why you store them. It's
It's
easy
not-
to keep a folder. with a
Honestly, I
PDF.
don't know any single collector which keep the receipts. Honestly.
I think it's a good idea to start doing that.
Well, if you want to do it. But on the receipt, you can see a box of Behike. There is no serial number.
No, no,
There
no.
is no date code. There is nothing there. You can see just you purchase box of Behike,
That's
box
correct.
of Talisman,
That's correct.
or whatever.
But it's an additional layer.
Additional layer, but in the meantime, I can smoke 5 boxes and I can get a fake one and say, oh look, I have a receipt for that one.
I'm just saying it's a good idea to just have that as well. It's just an additional layer.
If the box is
There's lots of
decent,
different ways to verify.
if the box is decent, the cigars inside will be decent.
Yeah.
Everyone which making an auction or buying that kind of cigars, he will know how to recognize them. Because imagine you're a collector, you want to buy a talismans, you find someone selling a talisman for let's say $1,000 a box. You want to buy them. You're not going to just throw out $1,000 a box if you don't know
that's
what
true.
you're buying.
You're absolutely right. You're
You're
absolutely
going to probably, even if you don't know, you take the pictures, you ask
You're going to go into
friends,
one of the groups. You're
your
going to go
groups
into
and ask guys, I'm looking to buy those ones. Are they
What do
legit?
you
Are
think?
they?
Yeah.
And you have a lot of opinions and everything. So that's the best way. That's why you need the boxes.
And if you go to the auction sites as well, like Mitchell will personally go through the stock. He doesn't have, and I've seen it. I've seen him do it. It's absolutely true. When he has stocks of these cigars coming from all over the world, he literally physically goes through all of the boxes and checks them properly to make sure.
Because he have a reputable name. That's why,
Yeah.
every respect for auctioneer, like even not a specialized like Mitchell, if you go to Christie or some other auctions, man, they're gonna check all like
everything.
everything.
properly.
They're gonna put them on the estimator to some guy which know the stuff. They're not gonna just put them in the site and say,
No, they will always check things properly, and they will make sure that. But like I said, Mitchell himself does. He doesn't delegate that out to anyone. He will literally be there, sat going through boxes and boxes and boxes, documenting and making sure that everything is exactly as it's supposed to be. So you've got layers of protection there if you're purchasing through or selling through certain areas, and you've got some degree of assurances that things are going to remain relatively legit, which is a good thing in a sense. But wait, what time is it? What at 9 o'clock, 9:05? Do we have any questions?
Xavier hasn't commented before. Hello,
Xavier
Javier.
or Javier.
Do you invest, Usman? And if so, what do you buy?
I tend to buy limited.
Lawrence points out that you probably invest in limited edition moisturizers.
And vitamins. You see the latest purchase, vitamin D. Is it D, C, E, whatever?
First of all, middle finger collectively to everyone except you, Mace. We'll talk about the Monty A's later.
And then you show me middle finger and you want Montes from me.
Nice, cool, man. I'll talk to Mace. He's giving me double middle fingers.
Hey.
A Monty A. Secondly, no, I'm not gonna answer that. Was it Lawrence who said that?
Yeah.
Dickhead.
But there was an actual
There was an actual
Do
question which
you-
you...
do you
Oh, I
invest
see.
in
Yeah.
moisturizer?
No, Lawrence, I don't buy limited
No.
edition moisturizers.
I can answer. Not Lawrence. Xavier asked, did you buy
Oh.
anything to invest? And I can answer before you answer. He invests in cutters and lighters, which is total shit.
No, I do. I don't invest in cutters and lighters. It's a stupid idea. Like this
Yeah, you're
It's
not
not
going
an
to miss the
investment.
opportunity to show it.
is not an investment. That's a stupid thing to purchase.
But you
But-
purchase it, not me.
Shut up.
Compared to mine,
Oh, these are legit Cohiba matches. Ooh.
yes, €2.
They're the most legit Cohiba
Yeah,
matches that you can
€2.
buy.
€2.
Basically, when you light it, you get the flavor of Cohiba just being infused into your cigar.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, man. No, I tend to buy limited editions, mostly, because I don't know. In my mind, I feel like they're a little bit safer. I don't buy a lot. Very few minimal boxes. They're sealed away, and then I just don't look at them because I know if I look at them, I'm gonna end up smoking one.
Yeah, I don't
And that's it.
I don't invest in that stuff. I don't pay more than £10 for a cigar, so I can't buy anything new. That's why I'm keeping on the old ones. They're cheaper. They worked for me.
But the older ones taste amazing. But you know the idea, the old adage, it's not even an old adage, it's like, you know, the statement that we make in every single video, smoke your cigars. Yeah, I don't live by that exclusively. But yeah, I tend to buy some limited editions just because I think that they might go up in value, and some of them have. Some of them already have. So I think it's a good idea to purchase certain limited edition cigars, not everyone, because 2016 was a dud year. We talked about this earlier before as well, right? Where the Monte Cristo Dante, the Romeo and Julieta, Capuletos, those cigars, I don't know what happened there. They were, what, £20 when they came out first, they're like 30-ish pounds now. They haven't got up by a great degree. The cigars don't particularly taste very well. And I've got a theory. This might be a crappy theory and it probably doesn't make sense at all. But I find, shut up Alex, I find that the thicker ring gauge limited edition cigars tend to do better.
But actually, how many limited editions actually go up in the price a lot? A part of the Cohiba, which we mentioned, it's the flagship. Not many. I mean, you know, proper limitadas.
Cohibas and Monte Cristos generally.
Monte Cristo, not that much. We mentioned the 2012 limited edition. We mentioned the 80th. Is the 80th limited edition?
No, it's just a special release.
Okay. So the 2019, we still don't know how the 2019 will go. You know, the old 2019s.
2019?
The Kedursi, the 29, the Supremos,
Let's find out. Let me just have
I don't count the pre-release as an official statement. We need, let's say, been on the market for a year, see how they're going, and let's say in 4 years, because they've been released last year. I think they released them last year.
2019 came out in 2020.
Yeah, last year.
Late 2019.
Last year, so we can't say for that, but limited editions, a part of Cohiba, which obviously it's the flagship. Not many of the other limited editions actually go up in a price.
The 2019 one, the Monte Cristo Supremo hasn't gone up in price by a massive amount, but the Ramonoyones, that's doubled in price.
My oldest limited edition full box, not full, I smoked few, but it was a 2008 D5 Partagas.
Yeah.
I don't think they even go double to the price.
No, but the Ramonoyones, that's practically, but only in England. Everywhere else, the prices remain relatively similar. So it does depend on your region. But the Ramonoyones has practically more than doubled in price. The Senadors, that's gone up in price quite a bit as well. And those are the only two cigars that have gone up, the two limited editions. The Monte Cristo Supremo hasn't gone up in price by much. If anything at all. What was it, £45 when it first came out or something? And I think for a box it's still £1,000. 25 box, that's about 45-ish pounds per cigar.
Before we conclude the Cubans, last well, it's not limited, but last mentioning the LCDH ones. Do you reckon they worth investment?
It's difficult to say, man.
Because they keep producing them.
Yeah.
They keep producing, but some stuff like the gold medal Bolivar,
yeah,
it's very collectible.
They are.
So
but they don't increase in price
in the same time, Bolivar, LCDH, you know, the
but they don't increase in price by a significant amount, though.
Well, the gold medal is expensive.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's very collectible, very rare to find. I think it's 2008, 2009 first release.
Yeah, but that's 12 years.
Yeah, but you have some cigars which are 12 years and they not increase that much of the price. So
I'll tell you one cigar.
Yeah. LCDH, in my opinion, need to be a very unique LCDH because Bolivar produced 2-3 years ago. They released a funny name one. It's even
Soberanos?
in Spain.
No, not Soberanos.
The other one. Yeah, whatever.
Bolivar LCDH.
It's like Lonsdale size.
Yeah.
They're still
similar size to the Trinidad.
12-15 euro in everywhere in Europe. So they're not up in the price.
They've gone up to about 20 euros.
Yeah, but once they release the Cohiba,
that's going to go up.
That will be very quick because people wait the Cohiba for almost 3 or 4 years.
There's already a whole list of people wanting
when
that
they
LCDH.
release them, if you can manage to get the box, get the box.
Yes,
that's what I'll say.
That I will. I mean, that's a no-brainer, really. Another cigar. I'll talk to you about this afterwards. Yeah? We'll have like a mini little conversation, whatever. But although nothing's been confirmed by Habanos, they have in practice been discontinued, and that's the Vegas Romagna Don Alejandro. It's named after
Don Alejandro.
Don Alejandro himself, right? It's a fantastic cigar. Tastes amazing. Double Corona. That practically gold dust now, right? They're very difficult to find.
Yeah, if we're talking for the normal releases,
Yeah.
there's some cigars which are very, very rare in collectible. Particles A910,
Yeah.
898 in the wooden cabinets. Not easy to
Not
find.
many, yeah.
Very expensive.
Very.
Don Alejandro's you mentioned, expensive. Even Hoyo Double Corona, without the bands, the cabinet
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
they're collectible.
They are.
So some cigars,
But the Don
collectible.
Alejandro, there are still some stock available, and they're priced reasonably. UK price reasonable, right? They're priced reasonably. If you can get them 5 years from now, when the stock is basically completely diminished, those cigars will more than likely double, possibly even more, because collectors will want them.
Coaba, the coffins as well.
Yeah.
They are not discounted.
Mm.
They change the package, yes,
Mm.
but are still they are double the price than when they release them. So, as I say, if it's a cigar with a unique Vitola, weird Vitola, something like that, it's worth as well
Yeah.
investing it in that.
I should have kept the Coaba Diadamas, you know, because
Monte, we're talking for Monte all night. You can't find Monte.
The
Monte, I remember last time when I bought Monte, I bought for a present for a friend about 2 years ago, £45 coffin, Monte in London. Now, if you check in any website, if you find any, they're not cheaper than 80 quid.
£100.
Yeah, I say they're not cheaper than 80 if you
Yeah,
find
no,
them.
you're right. Exactly. I'm agreeing with you.
And
I'm agreeing with you.
I personally bought. It's not, as I say, it was a present for a friend in a nice. They come in a nice wooden coffin, long one. These £45 down in London. I need to double check which shop I bought it. Now they're double. That's a standard produced cigar.
Yeah.
It's not a limited, nothing.
Nope.
It's a standard release.
It's a standard release, yeah, but it's a very strange Vitola.
Exactly.
Exactly,
Strange
yeah.
Vitolas, go for it. If you see something weird as a Vitola, not something which is not often on the market, and I always like to say, if you're looking for a Vitola and if you start googling in the shops and if you can't find it in almost any shop, that's mean there's a demand for that cigar,
Yeah.
and people are looking for that cigar.
I agree. I think that, but the Don Alejandro, if you can get hold of some, I highly recommend you purchase that box, keep hold of it for about 5 years or so, and
Don't smoke them like me.
No, don't smoke them.
I smoked
They
two
are
of my
probably
box.
going to go up. Did you
Yeah.
smoke them?
I smoked 2 of my box of 25.
They're just such good cigars, though. You can't help it, can you?
I've got a box of 2003. I smoked 2 of them. I can resell the box for 10 times what I pay for it. 10 times.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I pay for the box €150. That box of 25, now I can resell it for £1,000. 2003. Don
Yeah,
Alejandro.
yeah. And in 5 years, they're going to go for about 1,500. More than that, possibly.
But I smoke them. That's why I am not in good investment. Don't listen to me.
Don't smoke your investments.
Yeah.
Don't smoke your investments. Yeah.
Yes.
Insure them against fire.
It's one of those things that need to be considered. Do we have any more questions?
Not a minute.
No? Okay, let's move on to New World.
New World.
This is your
It's a
domain.
Very, very
Difficult.
very complicated area.
Mm.
Because,
Buy Gurkha.
well, there's a good
Weirdly-
which cost a lot of money if you find,
No,
the what was the Queen
weirdly,
something.
Gurkhas are potentially good investments.
No,
No?
because they didn't raise in a price. You pay £1,200,
Oh, I
$1,200
see,
for a
I
cigar. It's still that money.
I see.
So if you want to invest, you need to make profit.
I don't know. I mean, the what's that one that came in the glass tube with the?
Same. It's been.
No, it's gone up. It used to be $500. They're now $1,000.
I don't know about that. But the New World, first of all, you need to have the knowledge to know. It's not like Cuba 20 brands. That's it.
Mm.
You're talking for 20,000 different cigars and brands.
Too many.
So
But if you kind of stick around
want to invest,
Fuente, stick around the major brands that people know of.
yeah, but Fuente, not everything on Fuente worth investment.
No,
So if
no.
you don't know, if you say I'm going to invest in Opus, Well, most of the Opus is same price as what they release them. You need to know what to buy. So, the principle is almost the same. You buy exclusive stuff, shop releases, event releases, stuff which never go on resale, never go on retail.
Yeah.
So I can mention, some of the collectible stuff which are very trending at the moment. Fuentes, specific Opuses, if you go for it. The problem with the Fuentes, even retailers sell them way more expensive because the Fuente is different. Let's say Fuente release cigar for $20.
Yeah.
All the retailers which are close to the family, they get them, they resell them on 30. All the other retailers buy from that retailers and resell them on 50.
Yeah.
So if you want to buy them, you already pay double the price on that cigar.
Precisely. But there are some Fuentes which are kind of like the pink ones.
Rare pinks.
Yeah, the rare pinks ones.
Rare pink ones, when they release them, exactly the same thing. Only few shops have them. They release them for $15. Straight away, because in the States, they are States release. In the States, every state have a different tax. Straight away, that Fuentes in LA was $25. So in some states, $15. In the LA, $25. All the retailers bought them. At the moment, they are 50 quid.
So essentially, retailers are purchasing off retailers to sell to consumers.
Yeah, so there's a first line retailers, second line retailers, and third line retailers now for
Could you describe that? Could you explain what you mean by first line, second line?
Yeah, I told you.
Fuente release. But who are the first line? Who are the second line? Who are the third line?
The first line are the closest people to the family and to the company.
Okay.
Some of the retailers which have a huge selections of Fuente, they bought a lot of Fuente. I can tell you the first line retailer, one of the most famous one is the Cathedral, Angela Yu, in Tampa. She just opened this year the Tampa store. She's first time follower. She get every exclusive release. She got the Lanceros. She got everything. But if you want to buy from her, that's at least 20-30% on top. And she don't sell to you. You need to be someone to sell into you. Especially, I'm talking for the rare ones, not the standard Fuentes.
Standard should sell them, but the rare ones.
Some of her friends, which are retailers, they go and buy from her and they resell them in their shops.
Can I just stop you there for a second? Alex, what do you want?
Someone comment something.
You think my jokes are bad?
No, I don't want to read it.
Look at Lorenz's one, last one.
If you put two different cohibas in the same box, it's called a cohib. Ah, for fuck's. No, Lawrence. You and Alex need to get together, I swear.
So Fuente, that is with Fuente. The other more commenting brand for the value is the Padron. Especially with the 50th or 80th, whatever was the most expensive one, which is like $1,000 a cigar. The problem there is the limitation, because the original batch was humidors with 100 cigars selling for $5,000. If you find any of those humidors, the price will be probably way more expensive because of the box in humidor itself and the numbers.
Yeah.
The same with some most expensive Fuentes. They always go in very lacquered luxury boxes. The box itself probably worth a lot. If it's full, it's very collectible because it haven't been touched and it's a specific release from different year or whatever. That's the two most valuable collectible stuff. But as I say, you need to know what you're buying, because Fuente Opus X is $15, not worth much, not worth investing unless it's something special.
I think Davidoff.
Yeah, that was my next view. Davidoff as well.
Before you get into yours, I've got a quick point I want to make, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So, some of the Davidoff cigars that have been coming out recently, we talked about how they're coming out in these city edition cigars, right? So Liverpool, London, the London Lancero, the Liverpool Toro.
It's not relevant because you can't say what's the price on them. They come up now. Maybe next year they will be double, or maybe not.
True.
Also,
it's a tough one.
That's a marketing game there.
It is, but if you can get, and this is a really difficult thing to do, extremely difficult. If you can purchase the set of cities that come out over the next 5 years, and if you can somehow resist not smoking any of them,
they probably taste the same.
No, they don't. They don't.
How many did you smoke? 2.
Because
they're different vitols and they produce in 3 years difference.
Yeah.
But they release now 20 cities. I don't think they're all different.
Fair enough. But I think that the idea of, when people collect cards.
Yeah, it's like the full set.
It's like the full set, exactly.
That's a marketing
It's
game.
like having all the Mr. Men books.
It's a marketing
Precisely.
game. Yeah.
No, he's absolutely right. And you'd be surprised at how much of an impact that has. If you can get the full, and this is extremely difficult.
But we're talking for a full set. We're not talking for individual boxes.
No. Not individual boxes.
They're not worth that much if it's
No,
individual.
no.
Let's say you have 19, you're missing Paris.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay 5 times the price of Paris because that's the only one you're missing. But someone else who don't care about that shit, you'll go and buy Paris for not more than 20% than the retail because he just want that and being in
But
Paris.
that's kind of the beauty of it. You could potentially have just one box of, let's say, the London or the Liverpool or Paris or whatever. You could just have one box.
Yeah.
And collectors want to complete their set. You could potentially make some money off that one, but it's a long shot. It's a long shot. However, if you somehow manage to purchase the full set and you've got that full set, that in an auction would go probably quite well. Because that full set, all the cities, all the cigars, every single one.
I've been offered every single box of the set for $300 at one. I can buy. Few weeks ago, a guy in one of the stage group, he offered every single box for sale.
Boxes alone or no cigars?
Full sealed boxes, 300 each.
Wow.
So there was a lot. He say if you buy them all, I can give you a discount. It's a game there. You know, I would say it's more value if you buy all the Monte Cristo limited editions and have them. Or Cuiva. Or whatever. Let's say Monte have 20 limited editions.
Yeah.
If you buy all of them, I mean, the 80th, the 2016, the 2019, in all sets, and I say, I've got Monte 2001, the first one, and I've got the last one 2019. Do you think that's proper value then?
Oh, hell yeah. But that's what I mean about sets. But we're not talking about...
It's not set even. As I
we're
say,
not- but we're not
I understand
comparing-
you for the sets. Yeah, of course, full set is way more expensive and way more collectible.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about comparing one investment to another. We're not talking about that because that, it comes down to what you think. You know, it is a very personal thing, and I don't think that it's easy to determine what's going to happen over the next 5 to 10 years. I'll explain what I mean. It's difficult to it's difficult to kind of analyze what is going to appreciate to what value over the next 5 to 10 years. However, the safe thing that you can say, or a safer thing you can say, is that you can purchase, if you purchase a set of this X particular thing, it will more than likely appreciate in value. Is it worth?
No.
Wait, let me finish.
Yeah, okay.
Is it worth the investment compared to, let's say, purchasing?
No, don't compare. You know, it's not.
Yeah,
worth
that's what I'm doing.
It's not worth the investment.
Do you think?
Yeah, because example,
Go on.
let's say one of the boxes is 300 pounds, dollars, euro, doesn't matter. X number,
Yeah.
300. 20 boxes, 6,000, right?
Yeah.
If you buy them now, do you reckon after 5 years there will be 1,200, 12,000? No, they're not gonna, even full set, they're not going to worth that money.
Would there be any value? Something Andre.
Even if you buy full set now, you manage to buy all of them.
Yeah.
You invest 5,000 pounds, 10,000, whatever amount. In 10 years, you're not going to make more than 20% profit on them as a full set.
Yeah, that's not a bad point. I mean, it's still an investment because you've made money.
You can
but
make
is it
some
worth
money,
the investment?
but you pay a lot to buy them.
Yeah.
You not buy them as a 30 quid a box and selling them for 300 as a box. Doesn't matter if it's a set or no.
Yeah.
You buy them, you pay 5,000 for them, you sell them for 6,000.
I don't know. I think the fact that it's a full set, if you
Because-
auction off, if you, I'm going to say,
Davidoff release every year special editions, and not one. They release chef editions, all different airports, lounges, whatever. Mention it. If you check Davidoff, every month they have a special release somewhere in the world. It's not like Cuiba release one in 5 years, or Monte one in 10 years, and that's people raving about them.
Davidoff is
Someone will
is too generous with how many.
Yeah, someone will probably wants to collect them because they look nice as a set and everything, but he will not invest as a money as a.
He might. Yeah. No. You made a good point. The person will probably make money, but they likely won't make double or triple the amount of investment, which is kind of what you want to do if you want to beat inflation.
Yeah.
Because if you don't make double the amount.
That was my next point. You mentioned the
that's a good point, that's a good
inflations.
point.
you're not gonna make more than the inflation because you keep them in your humidor. 20 boxes is a lot of space. We're not
Yeah.
talking for one box.
Yeah, yeah, no,
20
you're right,
boxes
you're right,
is a
you're
whole
right.
humidor with
You're right.
boxes. So you seal that one there. You don't touch them, and you make slightly more because someone 10 years ago released Cities of Davidoff. Even now, 10 years ago, one of the most interesting Davidoffs was the gold band, which is very collectible now. It's a big decent investment because they discount them,
Yeah.
and that was the best Davidoff by far for many people.
Just to clarify, I'm not trying to correct you. I apologize if this comes across like I'm trying to correct you. But when Ray says discount, he means discontinued. Just to be clear. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Okay. Just thought I'd clarify that.
If you want to invest in Davidoff, in my opinion, go for the most rare and expensive ones. I know it sounds ridiculous.
Royal release?
No. Well, yeah, Royal Release maybe, but Royal Release didn't go up in the price in that much because
They've gone up in price.
you
but
don't
they
have that
haven't-
much of a demand for that cigar.
No, there isn't. There isn't.
But Oro Blanco, it's almost impossible to find.
Yeah, but they've already gone up to such an amount that it's not even
Yeah,
worth
they
it.
start on $500.
Did they?
Yeah,
They were £500 when they first came over here.
yeah,
450 euros, right? In Europe, because you can't buy them here.
yeah.
No, you can. But
Now,
only-
now it's no price tag on them because no one wants to sell them, and there's not many.
Davidoff London has a box.
How many? How much?
Expensive.
Do you know roughly?
About 500 a piece.
There was that when they released them.
So maybe they're about the same right price then.
Yeah, the new world is a complicated
Remember when we
story.
went into the humidor?
The new world
Alex.
is a complicated. As I say,
Why are you hunched over that screen like there's boobies on the screen or something, man?
I said to Lawrence, because he was making bad jokes, I said I'm putting him in timeout. So I put him in timeout, thinking I could just bring him straight back again, and I can't.
Why'd you kick Lawrence out
I
for?
didn't kick him out, he's only in timeout. I didn't mean to.
Don't put Lawrence in timeout. Lawrence, if you can see this, we're really sorry about that. Alex is just being silly right now.
I thought I could just bring you back again.
Oh, let him make the jokes. Let him make the jokes. You need to apologize to Lawrence.
yeah, the new worlds are complicated. I always say, if you don't know, don't invest in the new worlds. There's no point.
Yeah, no.
If you wanna,
That's a very pertinent rule. If you don't know what you're getting, stay out of the industry.
So-
Not stay out of the industry. Stay out of the investment world.
if
Your research that you do is crucial. You have to know what you're purchasing, and you have to have a good idea of what it could become. Because if you don't do your research,
Well-
if you don't know what you're talking about, chances are you're
not
gonna lose
many
money.
people know what will become.
No,
as
but
investing, but
but most people have some degree of understanding.
if you go for the new worlds, I would say stick to your brands which you like, and follow them what they release, and you will know what to buy. I can give an example. Always give that example with some people ask me for rare new worlds. Tatuaje Monster series. Pete Johnson came with a brilliant idea 13 years ago. He's a massive fan of the horror movies, and every year he releases a cigar with a specific vitola, unique vitola, and unique name. And he released 666 boxes in only 6 or 13 retailers in the States. That's it. No more.
Yeah, 666. That's the
So all the
yeah.
symbolical stuff. So the first release was 2007. The release price of every cigar is $13 individual piece.
Yeah.
So the box is 13 cigars in the box. You know, all symbolical stuff. So imagine the box is what, $160 release date. That's not a different. That's what he released them on every retailers. They not put the price up more than $1. You know, that's the price which they're supposed to sell in them, $13. First release, Monster, original size, original dimension. At the moment is more than $4,000 if you find any. 4,000.
fuck it out.
Empty box in eBay. I've saw it with my eyes. 1,000 empty box.
Wow.
Because the boxes are unique as well. They have a different shape. The cigars are named Frank, Mask, Leatherface,
Can I-
all the that horror movie people. Karlov, Boris, Little Boris, Chuck, Tiff. That's the names on the cigars.
Give me a second. I'm just going to quickly search up something if you don't mind. Is that okay?
Mhm.
Okay. Just going to quickly. I don't know.
So Monsters, as I say, one of the most collectible cigars in the New World because of the symbolic. But if you're not a fan of Pete Johnson, Tatuaje, you're not going to know about them.
What about this one? This is called the Alec Bradley Fine and Rare 10-year anniversary
Fine and
box.
Rare. Okay, Fine and Rare.
Have you seen this one?
Yeah, I know very well. I know very well. Fine and Rare. It's an interesting project, but it's not investment because all the cigars are the same value as what they've been released. Just because it's very rare and they collect like 6 different cigars in there, it's not making it collectible.
So it's £1,000 right now in the UK. Do you think that could go up?
No.
No?
That will be the same in 5 years probably, not moving.
Just inflation prices, not actual.
Okay. Nothing, because it's nothing rare there. They put some cigars. As I say, Pete Johnson released every year 666 boxes. That's it. And now this year he released a box which combine all of them. That will be the next masterpiece. I can give you a few other examples. Store releases. Romacraft, the cigar Alex is smoking at the moment, so the same producer, he make a cigar called Narval. 50 or 100 pieces only ever made. At the moment, Narval, if you're looking in the black market, in some selling groups, you can't find them for less than $100. When he released them for a special event, they're not being for sale even. There was event only. So you get it for free.
Yeah.
So this is something Andre was trying to point out earlier. If you were to buy, say you go back to your city idea, right?
Yeah.
And you buy all the boxes, but you then repackage them. So you then sell a box of one of every city. Is there value in that, do you think?
Potentially, yes.
No, because the boxes are more interesting than the cigars. Boxes are nice.
Potentially,
well, you have a cigar with the bottom band saying Liverpool or whatever it's saying.
No. There's potential for that, but the likelihood of it is, as you mentioned, because the majority of the value is in the actual box and the cigars being in the box. So one could make the assumption that if I sell one from each and repackage it as one box, potentially there's some scope there, but it's difficult to say what kind of investment.
Okay, in theory, we say a box worth 300.
Yeah.
10 cigars in there, 20, I don't know how many.
It's generally 10, yeah.
10 cigars. So single cigar, 30 quid. 20 cigars, 600 quid. Do you think you can sell that for more than 600?
I think you could probably reach 1,000.
No.
But
I both similar stuff. Foundry is a company which not exist anymore. They produce a line called Elements. So every cigar completely weird vitola in shape, named after element from the periodical table. You know, the oxygen, the neon, the gold, the whatever. The total, I think, on all of them was a 18 or 19 cigars.
Yeah.
The total. All of them in weird boxes, collectible boxes, weird looking stuff. Everything is weird in that cigars. Retail price $6 when they release them, a cigar. I buy them, they released them 2013. I buy them last year, the whole set for $4 a piece.
Wow.
So they've been $650 retail. I buy them for $4 a piece.
Down.
And it's not some auction, just a guy say, I have them all if you want them. I have a box from all of them. The same idea as Davidoff. Not that expensive, but same idea. Release on the same time.
But then Davidoff does have a certain allure to them, which doesn't necessarily translate to other brands. This is kind of why. So
I would not personally. I would not invest in Davidoff, Fuente, or Padron. I would not invest in them.
I'll tell you why. Why I think the Davidoff has some scope. Maybe not as much as Cohiba. Maybe not as much as some of the limited editions or LCDH from Cohiba and so on and so forth. But the reason why I think they have some degree of scope is because remember when we were at the Halifax Herf and I was smoking a Davidoff and I was said this is New World and you're like, yeah, it's not real New World. And the reason why it's not really perceived in the same way is because Davidoff kind of stands out a little bit as a brand. And that brand has a particular value to it.
Yeah, that three brands are most expensive than every other New World. That's why they all are different. They always been separated. Davidoff, Padron, and Fuente. They always been separated. So it's if people are interested, I can give more examples to rare stuff from the New World, which for me it's absolutely amazing how they raise in a value. Viaje. It's another very small boutique brand released in very small batches. Every cigar is a small batch there.
Yeah.
The very first release they have, it's called Roman Candle.
Roman Candle?
Roman Candle.
Tell me about that.
Cigar 9-inch long, the same I have in the box, that size.
Yeah.
Package it in a red cellophane, in a red candy paper or whatever. The whole cigar, no band. Inside they have a band, but the cigar is just a packaged like a dynamite stick. That cigar release price being like $10. At the moment, Roman candles are not less than a 40. If you find any, 2013 release, 7-8 years later.
Wow.
If you find it, because that was the very first release of Viaje, special release.
I've got a potential which is almost impossible to.
Dom Pepin, my father, well-known brand. My father released anniversary edition every 5 years. In coffins. I've smoked one decent. If the people follow me in the Insta, they know I smoked the 2018 one. That coffins, retail price $12 to $15 when they release them.
Yeah.
All the coffins at the moment are not less than a 35-40 single cigar. It's a limited edition, anniversary edition. As well with the My Father, what they released a few months ago. They released a special humidor with a crazy price tag, 20,000 pounds or dollars or something, with 100 cigars or something similar. That humidor already is at least 50% up on the price.
That's actually quite a big amount. That's interesting.
You need to know the brands. You need
But
to know what to collect.
But that's the thing though. With New Worlds, I would say that for most people, it's probably an idea to stick to Cubans, because with New Worlds, it's far tougher. However, this is a question, not a statement, because I want to ask you what you think about this. And there's two questions. So I'm going to ask one, I want to know what you think, and then I'm going to ask another one. So first one is, and this is almost impossible, and this is probably not even worth asking because it's so difficult and so impossible to get hold of. Fuente, Carlito, Jose Blanco mentioned that he's basically a genius in terms of producing ridiculous vitolas and cigars and so on and so forth. If you can somehow, through magic or intervention from deities themselves, if you can somehow manage to get hold of some cigars that are not on the market but produced by Carlito in like a particular short batch or whatever, those might potentially go for a stupid price.
Yeah.
What do you think?
They're already stupid prices.
Okay, there you go.
Carlito produced he have a cigar in a weird vitola of a rugby, American football ball.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's Opus X branded cigar with not a band, with some like laser print or whatever.
Yeah.
That cigar I've seen few for sale in groups of collectors. It's never been officially for retail for sale. So it's been just given to someone, to another person or something like that. Never seen that cigar less than $150 a sale. Never.
There's two other kinds. La Flor Dominicana, the Salomones with the designs, the full box set of that. That will probably go up in value over the next 5 years.
If they stop producing them, yes. But they're producing them.
They're very difficult to get hold of.
I can get you one if you want.
No, the box, the full box.
Full box. I can get you a full box if you want.
Okay, I don't
They're
want
still
them.
producing them.
Do they?
Retail, if you find a retail, it's around $350. Non-retail, $300. They're even cheaper if you buy them on the resellers.
Another question. This is a question I want to ask about, and that is the number one cigars from Cigar Aficionado. They tend not to increase that much in value, but they increase double, triple the value in the same year when they become number one. Yeah, so it's difficult.
But you don't know which one cigar will be number one.
Precisely. Unless you've got some inside information, which would be very difficult to get hold of.
When they start producing the second and third batch of the cigars, obviously, the price go down again.
Yeah.
Because of the demand. Last year, when the aging room became number one, the Nicaragua, summer before they become number one, I managed to get a box of them. I didn't know it was $8 a cigar, $9 cigar. I get them, I like them, I share a lot with the friends, try that one, is a decent cigar. It surprisingly become number one. I try to, few people which I already give them some of those, they ask me, do you have more of them? I want them, it's number one, blah blah. Say, I'll ask around. The cheapest one I found literally first few weeks after the advertising as a number one, the first few weeks, the cheapest box I found, they asking for $16 a piece. That was double.
Wow.
$8 before that, 3 months later, 16. It was sold out for 3 months. You can't get a hold of them unless you pay crazy, ridiculous money.
Yeah.
Now,
but there's no way. But the thing is, there's no way for most people to know what cigar is going to get that number one position.
That cigar now is $10.
Yeah.
Because of the inflation. 2 years later, inflation, maybe a little bit more because it's been number one in all that stickers you put on the cigars. You're selling the number one cigar for 2019. Same with the Melanius, the Bull. The Bull was the same. When they released, it was expensive cigar when it's being released, not being cheap. It's going missing everywhere. everyone started paying crazy double amount of money to get the debut. Now
And
the
now they're
debut
back down to about the same price.
is back, but probably 3 or 5 pounds more than what been 3-4
It's
years
about
ago.
£3.
But that's the
It's £3 more in
you
the
mentioned
UK.
the inflation, so it's same.
That's inflation, yeah.
So it's if
Well,
you-
actually,
it's-
that's not even inflation. UK raised the taxes on cigars by about 1% or 2%, so that increased the prices anyway. So actually, no, that is inflation. That's literally inflation.
So you don't know which cigar will won, you know. Even if you know, still the Cubans who won. Yeah, the only cigar which probably increased way more was the Vejique from all the winners. Even Monte too. Monte 2 is a winner. They won 2014, if I'm not mistaken, not 2013, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Monte 2 is, even if you find 2013 box of Monte 2, it will be what, £50 more than what is retail, because it's not a collectible cigar. It's a standard release Monte number 2. It's been a winner, but what? Nothing. New World is complicated. If someone finds something which he thinks is rare, ask me. Send me a message and say, Ray, I found that one, whatever. I think it's the first release of whatever brand. Send me a message, send me a picture and say, is that one worth collecting? I'm always open to suggest, help someone if you need to know. I used to know most of the New World brands, so I know which kind of stuff are collectible.
It's really, it's a tough market to try and enter as a newbie and understand, because there's no...
Even if you invest of cigars, I mentioned the foundry. The foundry are cheap now because the brand not exist. And if it's a Cuban brand and not exist, it will be expensive. Don Alejandro, not produce them, crazy expensive. The New World, other way around. Cornelius and Anthony.
Actually, Don Alejandro hasn't increased in price significantly just yet, because I don't know why.
It's a, I don't know.
Maybe it hasn't actually triggered the market enough yet.
Other New World cigars which not exist, Cornelius and Anthony, not Sherman, that's the two brands which not exist anymore. Still can find some in the shops, even below the retail price when they're selling them. They have a value for someone which used to love them, and he smoked them all the time, and he wants to buy the last final boxes before absolutely run out everywhere. That's it. No exist brands. Used to know if it's something not exist, it will be rare and rare and rare. But it's not. It's specific lines, specific ideas behind the cigars that worth money. Not everything.
Andre just mentioned Don Alejandro. Sorry, he was just messaging me. Andre just mentioned Don Alejandro was discontinued 2017. So it hasn't actually affected the market drastically just yet. Because it takes, there's a delay, right? Because the first few years, the cigars continue. And they only kind of went...
Don Alejandro probably be discount in 2017.
Yeah.
But maybe they ran out like a year ago or 2 years before that.
No, they were still available to buy quite comfortably at the same price.
But are they produced 2017? They're available to buy, but the other box is 2017 actually.
I would assume so.
I think they're 2016, 15, that's the last stock.
Possibly.
Similar to the Monte. A lot of people think it's discounted because there's no Montes. But they're not, officially they're not, but they're not producing them as well. So maybe in some moment that will be the next discounted cigar. And we will say they're discounting in 2022 probably, or 2023, because that's the official statement. But they're discounted 2 years ago because you can't find any, almost any you can't find. I've never seen Monte with 20 date box cut. 19, yes, 20 no.
Last 15 minutes. Do we have any questions?
We got Monte Cristo Perito versus Trinidad Shore. I'm going to say that's
Trinidad.
Smoke and also investment.
I wouldn't say investment, but I'd say...
Well, if you have to choose one, I don't know.
Guys, I
Trinidad
have a Monte Cristo, the minis, pack of 3, produced for the French market in the 70s, and I just give them for free to people around me. They just don't worth anything. It's
I wouldn't say
collect
investment,
those.
but if we're going to smoke them, the Trinidad is a better cigar.
And Mace made a good point. Oh, okay, Lawrence didn't mean it as an investment. Didn't think so. With most collectibles, you can find almanacs, you know, like for tracking the value of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, Andre's already pointed out that nothing like that exists for cigars, but you know, do you think that's a reasonable idea, or are there barriers to that?
Well, to make a book actually which tells me which cigars to collect, or I didn't get that question.
Like an almanac. Okay, it's gone.
So it's like I think some of them are live, some of them are yearly, sort of tracking values basically of cigars.
Yeah, no one making that kind of stuff. The only people would probably know the Cuban cigar website, you know, Cuban cigar brand's website, and the Min Romney encyclopedia, which has been written like 20 odd years ago. That's the most full almanac encyclopedia / book, which can give you some information, but there's no price tag on there. There's no prices there. It's only some vitolas which don't exist, which, you know, information about the sizes, and some of the stuff there are just pictures, because literally even the guy who made the book, who wrote the book, he didn't find any evidence that cigar has been actually produced. He had it from a catalogs from Cuba, from Habanos, Cuba tobacco back in the time, or whatever. But no price on them, because it's a speculator. You don't know what will be the value next year.
But that's the thing. So do you think there are any fatal barriers to making something that can track values?
First of all, you need serious amount of time.
Yeah.
Because it's not only to check the value here, you need to check all the different websites, auctions, and price tags, and it's a lot of time consuming. Even if someone decide to make it, then to update all that prices.
But that's why they're expensive. So
because some cigars you won't see them often for sale.
Yeah.
As I say to Mace other day when we buy the Monte A, I haven't seen Monte A in my sources for years, and now 2 boxes came up in 2 days difference. Maybe next box will arrive in 5 years. So in 5 years that can be very collectible cigar, but it could be something which people are not interested in, don't want to buy. I don't know. It's a very hard topic. If someone wants to try, if you need any help, I might help with some ideas or anything, but it's very time consuming without any reward.
I think safer bets tend to be flagship Cubans.
Investment, although Cubans is the easiest way.
Easy, yeah. Well, it's not easy, it's easier.
It's easy in related to because there's not many options.
Yeah.
The new world, it's a tricky because you need to know. I'm smoking all kind of different stuff and going to the new world stuff last 3 or 4 years, and I still have some brands which I don't know much about them, and they produce limited editions which I have no idea what they were, because I never managed to get into that brand. There's so many. You know, it's use a lot of resources and time spending in researching and asking to the groups, joining in different fun groups, asking some people, you know, you see what they smoking, how rare are the stuff.
But that people do that for other things, so it's not, you know, these almanacs are expensive.
Yeah, but even if you produce an almanac now, next year will be different.
That's the point.
Yearly almanacs.
Yeah.
If someone wants to do it, you can try. It's
So,
something unique. Might make some money. Everything unique, either risky, either make money, either not.
I also asked a question to the viewers for the first time.
Oh.
As to whether they were honestly actually considering investing in cigars. Out of the 10 people that responded, 4 said yes, 4 said no, and 2 said they would still need more information. So there are actually people considering this.
What information they need then?
Well,
specific brand?
But before we get into that, the most important thing to remember is something that you've mentioned a few times and I've mentioned a few times, and that is you have to be willing to do the research. Just because you ask one person a question, but I just want to...
Investment 10 years ago, 12, 15 years ago, I think, a friend of mine, very good friend, offered to me to buy Bitcoins. About $100 a piece. I just laughing on him. Say, piss off, man. I'm not gonna pay $100 for something which not exist even. Imagine if I was bought like 10 bitcoins for $100.
You'd be minted right now. What are they worth? 50k each?
Imagine if I was just spend some money, just put them aside and like invest in that. That's an investment. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
And that's also is a perishable stock.
But this is why
It's not house, vintage car, or I don't know, stamps.
But this is
It's something which can be damaged easy by the weather conditions and everything.
But this is why it's crucial that whenever you make an investment decision, it's based on your own judgments. Because the last thing that you want to do is give some advice to someone and they take on what you think and what you say and they start holding you responsible. No, the ultimate responsibility is down to you and you alone. So you might ask for advice to X, Y, and Z person, but you still need to look into it yourself. You still need to do your own whatever due diligence that you can do and understand the fact that no one actually 100% knows.
Yeah.
It
Agree.
is completely subjective. There's no laws around.
About 2-3 years ago,
Yeah.
I found almost full box of Dunhill, forgot the Davidoff. The guy asking me for about £80 a piece.
Yeah.
I say, nah, it's not a chance. Now, it's about 2,500 a piece. 2-3 years later.
Yeah. But there's no way that you could have known that.
I would never even in my, my brave thinking, I would think that Dunhill will be that expensive in 2 years.
Yeah.
Even if I follow the Cuban Dunhills and Davidoffs for a while, I know the Davidoff slightly up, the Dunhill is slightly up. Literally in the last 5 months, lockdown, let's say last year, a ridiculous demand for a vintage Cubans, Dunhills, Davidoffs.
Because the cigar industry is kind of going through another resurgence, right?
I think because the people need to spend their money somewhere.
Yeah.
Because
We've had a
they
whole
don't
year.
travel, they don't spend
Exactly.
on
They
cars,
haven't been to
don't-
holidays. They haven't been
Yeah.
They haven't been able to go out and go to any events or restaurants or spend any meaningful amounts of money in any particular areas or whatever. So what have cigar smokers been doing? They've been sat buying cigars. What have people that have been entering the industry doing? They've been looking into cigars and potentially looking at new cigars and whatever. And the stock levels have been dwindling for a number of reasons. But this is another thing as well to consider. Cuban cigars have been massively hit by a shortage, and the shortage hasn't really come into play just yet. It's come into play a little bit, but not significantly. And over the next 5 years, if you can purchase good cigars right now, there's a good chance that in 5 years' time, these particular cigars will probably go up in value. And the reason for that is because the stock shortage is going to have a delayed effect, right? It doesn't hit immediately. The stock shortage happened in 2020. And
Even the theory you have,
but let me finish. The impact of that is going to be really felt in, let's say, a year or two, maybe more. And that's when things could get a little bit interesting because the demand has gone up significantly. The supply hasn't. Supply's gone down.
fair point, but imagine a scenario if Cuba changed the government and they start growing 5 times more tobacco than now.
Yeah.
And let's say in 5 years, they're producing twice the amount of the cigars they're producing now.
Yeah.
So you already invest in something, you think it's going to be shortage, it's going to be, not much of those cigars. In 5 years' time, they're actually floating everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a risk.
It is. You're absolutely right. And this is the fundamental thing, right? With investment of any kind, there are inherent risks involved.
It's long-term gambling.
Well, it's not gambling.
It is.
It's not gambling. There's a difference. There is a difference. There's a fundamental difference between gambling and investing.
If someone know after 5 years which cigar will be double, triple, they'll buy them all.
Precisely.
There's a rich people which sharks, in the investment field. If someone know for 100% that box of cigar, which now is £100, in 5 years will be £1,000, he'll buy them all.
Precisely.
Nobody know.
So, last few minutes.
Yeah.
One question from Andre and 2 light questions from Lawrence.
Okay.
Andre is saying, so I think it's Fuente bringing out an advent calendar.
Yeah, Tatuaje, Pete
Tatuaje,
Johnson.
sorry.
Yeah, Tatuaje bringing advent calendar.
Do you think that might go up in value if you keep hold of it?
No, because the year will be 2022 or 2021. You know, you have a year on that.
Keep it.
Depends what will be the cigars in there.
Oh, true.
Nobody know what will be the cigars there.
Yeah.
So I will buy one of those calendars. I'm already few people.
Are you going to be opening them or are you going to be keeping them?
I'm gonna open it because I'll be curious. I don't think I'm gonna smoke them in every day in the same order because I hate doing that. Someone to tell me what to smoke. But I'm gonna open to see what is in there.
Smoke the whole box.
If I manage, I might get 2 of them and I might keep one of them, but still, it's not worth investing. I might keep it because I'm a big fan of Tatuaje.
Yeah.
I'm a member of the SNS group of, you know.
But Tatuaje cigars, I mean, I've only smoked 3 Tatuajes so far. And every one of them have been good. I didn't think they were like incredible cigars. I know that some people may disagree with me.
I'll bring you an incredible Tatuaje if you want.
But you know the Tatuaje that Mace gave me? That was a really good cigar.
It's good, but it's not even close to the best.
But I didn't
cigars.
think it was like, okay, I see. I thought it was, okay, I wouldn't say really good. I thought it was a good cigar. It was a very enjoyable smoke. But I didn't think of it like this is one of the best cigars I've ever smoked. But then my perspective on Tatuaje is very limited. So I can't really make any judgments on a brand when I've only smoked 3 cigars.
One of the best cigars I've smoked in my last 3, 5, 4, I don't know, whatever years, was a Tatuaje. One of the monsters, not the first one. I can't find the first one. I smoked the Kruger, which is 4th or 5th in a real size, like 7.5 inch Perfecto. One of the best cigars I ever smoked. I even put it in Insta. I smoked it this year, 3 or 4 months ago. One of the most incredible cigars I smoke. If I find a box, I'll get it.
So, last couple of light questions.
Yeah. First of all, if you had to smoke 2 different cigars at once, right? So pairing a cigar with a cigar.
Yeah.
So
I've done that with 3.
One of the other.
I've done that with 3.
Okay, well, yeah. What 2 would you pick if you were to do 2?
Oh, it's not. You need to have a purpose on that. You don't smoke it because of the sake of smoking and enjoying it. You're smoking it because you want to compare something.
No,
Yeah.
but if you were to try and pair a cigar with a cigar,
No.
to complement each
It's
other.
not enjoyable. You mix the texture, you're not gonna find anything in there.
I've done that once where I smoked 2 cigars at the same time. It wasn't enjoyable.
I smoked 3, the same cigar, to see if they have any difference in there. If you smoke different cigars, I don't know what will be the purpose on that. They will be different.
Yeah.
Different in strength, different in taste.
Yeah,
different.
I mean, it just wasn't enjoyable for me.
I don't know what's the idea. As I say,
I don't.
if you want to try, he can try, but I don't know what. As I say, what's the purpose of doing that?
Maybe, I would give that a shot if, let's say, there was a particular line of cigars and they had different vitolas. So I would try that.
Well,
So I would say maybe a Robusto versus a Lancero.
Yeah,
And smoke them
that
together.
is idea probably. Yeah.
So I would probably do that. So maybe an Oliva Lancero versus the Oliva Robusto. That I think would be a good thing to try. In fact, I might even do a video about that. That's not a bad idea. Who gave that idea?
Lawrence.
Lawrence, great suggestion. Wait, is he out of time out?
Yeah, he's at the time
Okay.
now.
Sorry, Lawrence.
His other question was if you could give advice to your younger self about cigars, what would it be?
Start smoking sooner.
Start smoking earlier and start getting involved in the industry earlier.
Yeah, I would have told myself
Smoke
to.
at 4.
No, because I started about 27, right? I think I should have started about. No, I don't know. I think 27 was a good age for me because I think if I started sooner, maybe I wouldn't have appreciated it as much. Yeah, no, actually, no. I'm glad I started at the age that I did.
Right, guys. If you don't
smoke
know,
sooner.
we have a Facebook group now.
Yes.
We have a Facebook group, which is a very small group yet, but Usman promised to add all our videos, interesting videos, conversations as a videos in the group.
Yeah.
We didn't put the live that one, yeah? We forgot to put the live one now.
It's okay. We just started the group.
So yeah, so in that group, I'm gonna open a room as well If you wanna smoke, jump in the room or text someone in the group, say let's smoke together. We can make a, let's say, we're gonna announce later which day will be. Probably Monday. We're looking for Monday 6:30, 6:30. I will be almost free.
We can create a room.
If someone wants to smoke with me, chatting virtually like the Zoom we organized before, you can jump in the room. It's only friends of our channel and us, our friends. So anyone is welcome. I will try to add some reviews of what I'm smoking, pictures of interesting stuff.
Call it what it is. What is it actually called?
Reviews.
There you go.
Oh, if you follow me on Instagram, you already did that. I make 20 of them.
No, I really like that. Ray came up with that review concept, and I immediately, that's a brilliant idea.
Usman and Alex, if they have any ideas, any thoughts, they will be added in the group as a. Yeah. And even some interesting pictures on events or cigars will be in anything. Will be just our social channel where we're gonna add most of the stuff and invite anyone who will be interested, any friends, any suggestions. If you have any suggestions for the topics, ideas, if you want to see anything, put it there. Put it there. That's the way to communicate with us. And as I say, even live we can do. We can do smoking together.
Please join our Facebook group because we're going to be really active there. That's what we're going to be predominantly based.
The group is called Cigar Rants, so we're going to mention that. But
I've already put a link.
Yeah,
nice one. So we've got a link there. Please join us there. And
as Usman say, we will probably do a dual shows a month, 2 shows a month, not every week.
Yeah.
Every couple weeks. We'll try to stick to that plan for now. We'll see how is it going.
I think summertime, in the heat of summer, we'll just take about a month off, generally, because it gets a bit too hot.
Yeah, we're going to have to, we will have sort of seasons of this.
Yeah.
We'll have to do some and then take a bit off and do some more.
Yeah, so this is technically season 2. Welcome to season 2.
Yeah, I was thinking if someone wants to do a around the table cigar evening or something, we can schedule that. Let's say in a month time, we can smoke the same cigar, all of us, and see what we're thinking about the cigar.
So what time is it? It is.
We're on 2 hours and 3 minutes.
Okay, so that's a good time to kind of close this off now. Ray, how was your cigar?
Shit.
His cigar was shit. Alex, how was your cigar?
It's great.
Mine was good. I wouldn't say it was great, but then I wasn't concentrating on my cigar too much. So I think I didn't enjoy it the way that I enjoyed the last couple that I smoked. Not because it was bad, just because I
That's
wasn't...
why I don't like to bring limited rare or cigars which I never smoke. Yeah. Because I can't concentrate and enjoy the cigar when I'm talking, because I need to talk some stuff and I don't.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Cigar. I mean, it was a good cigar. It just wasn't. I just didn't focus on it as much, and maybe that's why. But I still enjoyed it. But yeah, this has been our investing in cigars segment. I hope you enjoyed the video. Ray, do you have any final words you want to say before we shut this down?
Yeah, invest if you want. If you have spare money, put the notes somewhere. What the word on the cigars, just in case you passed away before me. If you passed away before me and I know your partner, it's not a good idea. I'm gonna smoke them.
That sounds very ominous. I will get them.
I wonder why Ray gets cigar knives instead of cigar cutters.
Well, yeah, Ray, your sign off.
Smoke good cigars. There's a bad ones as well, like this one. Don't smoke that one; it's not worth it. But smoke your cigar, so I will.
Thank you guys for watching our live show. Really appreciate you spending your evenings looking at us and talking. No, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, no, seriously, thank you so much for coming back. I know we had a break, and when we first started, we were like, what if no one joins again? What if we've lost all our audience? But you guys, your support is really appreciated. So thank you so much. Mace, message me later, or I'll message you. I want to talk to you about a particular cigar that you've got, which Ray doesn't want to help me on. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll hope to see you in the next one.
Yeah, that's the way around.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not English, man. I know it doesn't mean anything for me. That side of that.
Everyone together. Bye.